Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we get started with our presentations, just a few quick housekeeping items to go over. The first is that attendees are welcome and certainly encouraged to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time utilizing the Q&A feature. You can pose your question to a specific panelist, or you can ask a general question to any and all of the panelists. If posing a question to a specific panelist, please try to put that school's name in your question. If asking a general question, you can just write something like "to all." Also a reminder that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. There are 2 other sessions this evening, as well as additional sessions tomorrow and the following day. So if you haven't signed up for those yet, please do so. And about 1 week from today, a recording of the session will be available on that same registration website. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to our panelists. Up first will be Bard College.
Great, thanks. Welcome everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen to start off with. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us. My name is Mackie Siebens. I'm the Director of Admission at Bard College. I graduated from Bard myself in 2012. And I'm just going to give you a very quick overview of what Bard College is. We are a network actually of locations rather than a single self-contained campus, but our oldest and largest campus is on the screen right now. This is our Annandale-on-Hudson, New York campus. It's about 1,000 acres. We have a lot of farmland right on the Hudson River, which you can see in the top third of this painting of our campus. You can see the Catskills. Beyond that, we grow a lot of our own food. Environmental and urban studies is sort of a focus for many students on campus. We have our own solar panels. A lot of our residence halls are geothermally heated. We grow food for our main dining hall on the Bard Farm, which you can see up here. And about 70 different kinds of apple grow on our campus on the southern 400 acres here on this historic estate, which supply food to a community farm stand down on the bottom left. This is the sort of central hub of campus. We have 4 divisions. We are a liberal arts and sciences college, about 1,900 undergraduates with some select graduate programs. Our divisions are in the arts, languages and literature, science, mathematics and computing, and social studies. So you can see it's a very large, beautiful campus just within 2 hours of New York City, about 1 hour and 40 minutes by train. But I mentioned when I opened up that this presentation that we are a network of campuses and partnerships, and this is hopefully going to dive into tease a little bit of that out in the time that I have left. But the Annandale-on-Hudson campus is one of many different campuses and partnerships around the world. Bard runs in partnership with a graduate program in Austria, the Open Society University Network, which means we have 5 other campuses and partnerships in Russia, in Germany, in Austria, in Kyrgyzstan, and one on the West Bank with the largest and only Palestinian-American collaboration in the liberal arts and sciences. So that's OSUN, you can see in the 3rd box from the left. We also have a huge social justice and human rights push. We were the first college in the US to have a human rights major. And we run a lot of our own civic engagement projects that were started by students. The largest and certainly the most popular at the moment, since we have a Ken Burns documentary out about it, is the Bard Prison Initiative. It's one of the largest college degree granting prison education programs in the United States, currently serving over 300 students who get their bachelor's degree from Bard College, taught by faculty here. Today go through the exact same Bard College experience that any student in Annandale-on-Hudson or any of our international campuses do. And then finally, we also run public high schools across the United States. These are serving students for the most part in areas where they don't necessarily have good access to public school education. And they graduate with not only their high school diploma, but a college associate's degree, tuition free as well. So we are a private college acting in the public interest, reaching out to underserved communities and thinking about how to move things forward in a global manner as well, connecting students and faculty across time zones. I mentioned our academic divisions. These really allow faculty to collaborate across communities, across boundaries. We're not divided into departments and segregated that way. There's a lot of flexibility for students to carve their own path through the Bard education. And we have a couple of unique traditions. They're all listed out here. Language and Thinking, very briefly, is a 3-week program that all first-year students do in August. which leads into our sort of great books course called First Year Seminar, which is a year-long program. Citizen Science has a number of different tracks that help students become citizens of science, thinking about their own interaction with science and their own as individuals, their own interaction with the world through the lens of science. Moderation is our version of declaring a major, and Senior Project is something that every student has to complete at Bard. It's a year-long independent research project. It'll be an art exhibit for students in the arts. It'll be an experiment or research for students in the sciences. It might be writing a novel, for example, for someone in languages and literature. And then finally, some interesting ways to apply to Bard include the immediate decision plan and the Bard entrance exam, which are completely unique to Bard College. The immediate decision plan involves coming to campus, taking a class, whether virtually or in person, and experiencing a full day at Bard, and then finding out whether or not you've been admitted 2 days later, and that happens in November. And the Bard entrance exam is our own special exam that involves submitting 3 10-page papers to be graded by Bard faculty. FAFSA and CSS profile are required for financial aid, and we also have some named scholarships. We're a need-based aid institution only. I can't tell how much time I have actually left, but I'll go ahead and stop there. My contact information is right on the screen, and I'm happy to put it in the chat as well. But I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense of what Bard College is all about. I'm happy to answer questions that you might have. It is a large network. It's quite complicated. It's quite complex, and therefore it provides actually quite a lot of opportunity for students to explore, for study abroad, and to connect with students who might not be in the US, who might be at campuses in the Bard education all over the world. So I'll leave it there for now.
You were right on with your time. Thank you very much, Bart. Just a reminder to any attendees who recently joined us, please do feel free to use that Q&A feature to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time. But up next, we have Rutgers University.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Let me share my screen. You can see my virtual background. Let's see. Is it working?
We don't see the presentation mode yet. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. There's my contact information. And I live on Long Island. I'm the regional rep, so I am local and happy to assist you. So Rutgers University, New Brunswick is the flagship state university of New Jersey. And we're known all over the world. We're the number 22 public university in the country, number 41 in the world, and of course, number 1 in New Jersey. And we're rooted in history, founded in 1766, back in the colonial days before the Revolutionary War. It's the birthplace of college football back in 1869. And we're proudly in the Big Ten Athletic Conference with 24 Division I teams. You may have seen that our men's and women's basketball team made it into March Madness this spring. It was a very exciting time. They didn't win. So here's the map of New Jersey. Just to get your bearings, you can see that New Brunswick, by that big red R, is between Manhattan and Philadelphia. We're in the heart of New Jersey. It's the hub where there's 75 corporate headquarters like Johnson & Johnson, and hospitals like Robert Wood Johnson and St. Peter's. So there's many opportunities for internships, jobs, entertainment. And there's a train station that goes through campus into the city in under an hour. So that's giving you independence to be able to come home on your own, and your family doesn't have to come and get you all the time. And we do have a big overall campus, but it's divided into 5 neighborhood campuses. Each, see the red on the red different campuses on the map. Each of those campuses has its own residence hall, its own dining hall, gym, library, classrooms, at least 11 research centers and institutes, and there's bus stops, and there's a free bus shuttle that takes you to the different campuses. And it's an interesting variety of environments, at the top at the Bush and Livingston campuses, that's where the football stadium is, the RAC, that's the basketball stadium. There's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's more suburban there, and that's also where the School of Engineering, Pharmacy, Business School is. Then you can see it's divided by the blue ribbon of the Raritan River, and that College Avenue campus in the middle, that's more of the city vibe with restaurants, theaters, museums, and shops. And that's the historic original part of campus. So you see some beautiful old buildings there. And that's at the bottom is the Cook and Douglas campuses. That's more rural with vegetable gardens, providing farm to table produce, livestock farms where students raise and study pigs, cows, sheep, and you can come and pet the horses. The Mason Gross School of the Performing Arts is down there, Institute for Women's Leadership, and the Douglas Residential College for Women is there. So we have, it's a big and exciting university with 36,000 undergrads, 16,000 live on campus, and we are the most diverse of the Big Ten colleges, and we welcome students from all walks of life with varied beliefs. We value everyone's different perspectives. We enjoy over 600 clubs, 80 fraternities and sororities, the largest Jewish student population of any public university. And there's special interest communities and housings are available to apply to and join. So many different ways to get involved. And hopefully we'll get back to study abroad sometime in the near future. We'll have to wait and see. Rutgers was the first to announce of the Big Ten colleges that we will be requiring vaccines this year for our incoming freshmen, unless they have a medical reason or religious reason. But very excited about that because Rutgers does not want to be a commuter school. We want everyone back on campus. So here are the 7 schools in red that you can apply to. You could apply to up to 3 when you apply, and each of these schools has their own academic profile, the grades that they're looking for. And it's good because, say, if you apply to the School of Engineering, but you don't get into it, but you do get into that first School of Arts and Sciences, which is like a liberal school, liberal arts school, you can get your grades up the freshman year and then transfer into the School of Engineering. We have about a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio. About 60% of classes have less than 30 students, over 175 research centers, and freshmen can start a research project right away. We have an excellent career center that assists with internships, jobs. You can see 84% placement rate within 6 months of graduating. And here's the big football stadium where everyone wears their red gear. We are the closest Division I football stadium to New York, so that's exciting. And that's our Scarlet Knight mascot, always at all the games. When you apply, and I hope you do, we have our Rutgers application. We're not on the Common App, and we will be test optional this year. And if you get your application in by December 1st, you will be considered for merit scholarships. So there's a lot to digest, but that's in a nutshell. And I hope you will contact me if you have any more questions. And thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Rutgers University. Up next, we will hear from Long Island University.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. afternoon. My name is Tatiana Marshall. I am one of the undergraduate admissions counselors here at Long Island University. I might know some of you already. I work very closely with your school. So I'm here just to simply discuss our 3 campuses and programs, and I'll go over a little oversight of all of those and then be available for additional questions. Okay, so LIU stems over 3 campuses. We have our LIU Brooklyn campus located right down the street. Then we have our LIU Post campus located in Brookville, Long Island, as well as our LIU Global campus, where those students study abroad in over 8 different countries over the course of 4 years. And their first year is actually in Costa Rica. So we are 11 acres self-contained in downtown Brooklyn. We host one of Brooklyn's only school of pharmacies, being over 125 years old. We are home to the Post Cereal Company legacy. So that is one of the best things about the Post campus. There's always cereal in the dining halls, which is Post cereal. The students genuinely enjoy that. This is home to our equestrian center, LIU Post, and as well to our criminal justice and forensic science majors. Now, we have, as I was stating, LIU Global. So this is a unique program. And usually students who go to this program usually go off to the United Nations, Associated Press, and UNICEF to fight for global and human rights. Now, we have a 12-to-1 teacher faculty ratio. We are very big on individualized attention here. So just make sure to know you're not a number. Your professor's going to know you. They're going to make sure that you're okay. We have over 260 areas of studies, and I just want to go through a few to let you know what we've just recently added. Pardon me. We also are Division One in the NCAA, and we're very excited to be joining the Division One teams and also competing. So please look out for Shark Nation in the future. So one of our biggest things we've just added was artificial intelligence. This is becoming a very popular major, no matter if it's in the computer science realm or medical realm. We're having a lot of interest in this. We have our first inaugural class of the Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment, founded by Mr. Jay-Z himself. We are super excited to see the next generation of music and entertainers in sports. So please, if you're interested, please let me know. We have and are most known for our health professions and our School of Nursing. As you can see here, a demonstration on one of our sim dolls. We are there for experiential learning. So you're learning everything in class as if it was in the field. And as I said, our wonderful School of Pharmacy, which is over 125 years old. I also oversee our early assurance program, which you guys actually know about. So if you have any questions or inquiries, please come see me. We also have, as of last year, our College of Veterinary Medicine also offering a doctorate degree. It's a 6-year program. So if anyone is interested in veterinary medicine with the Equestrian Center and access to a lot of farmland in Long Island and different partnerships, our students are already blazing in this field. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I don't want to go over too much, but I'll go back to the beginning. And if you guys have any questions, we are rolling admissions. We do give out fee waivers if a student attends any virtual events. And if they need it, we have over $100 million in scholarship. So students are eligible based off of merit. And we are open to talking to any student about any inquiries or any questions they have. So please let me know. I just want to go back to the page with my information. All right. That is everything from LIU, guys. I hope to see you guys later.
Thank you very much, LIU. As we transition to our next presenter, just a reminder to all of our participants, these presentations are kind of 6-minute overviews of each institution. So if you have more specific questions about majors, financial aid, scholarships, etc., please do feel free to send them through the Q&A. But up next, we're going to hear from Marymount Manhattan.
Thank you so much. Let me just share my screen. Okay, is that visible? I'm going to
Yes,
assume.
it is.
Okay, great. Thank you. So my name is Emma. I am one of the admission counselors here at Marymount Manhattan College, and I'm also an alumna as well. So I graduated from MMC in 2018 and started working here right after. So I really loved my experience, and I am the Brooklyn counselor. So I recruit in Brooklyn and also am going to be the first one reviewing your application. So quick facts about Marymount. We are a very small college on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. So that top pin that you see on the screen is where we're located on 71st between 2nd and 3rd, right by the Q train. We have a little under 2,000 undergraduates, and that Upper East Side location is our only campus. Those other two icons that you see are housing, which is optional. We're about 50% students who commute, 50% students who live on campus, and a little under 2,000 undergraduates. We have an 11-to-1 student faculty ratio, and all classes, whether it's a gen ed or a major class, is capped at 25 students. So you'll never have a class larger than 25. My smallest class was 6 personally. So you really are getting that individual attention. Even if you're not the most outgoing student, it's very easy to get all the help you need and to really stand out in such a small class. We have a little over 30 majors and 45 minors here at Marymount. We have all of the majors you see here, plus a few new ones that aren't up here yet, and of course, minors across the board. We really specialize with students who are interested in studying multiple things. We have a policy called double dipping, which means that if you have a minor or second major, one class can fill multiple requirements simultaneously. So one class can count towards a gen ed and a major or both majors at the same time, making it really easy to have multiple majors, minors, etc. Most of our programs have some kind of special benefit attached to it. So for example, pre-med, we have a direct entry program with one of the medical colleges in Harlem. We have a United Nations program, etc. So definitely do the research on the program you're interested in. And our newest announcement is we just got our biggest donation in history of $25 million to completely recreate our visual arts center. So that's something we're really excited about in the next few years. We have, of course, a robust career services office. Being right in Manhattan, it really speaks for itself in terms of the internship opportunities. But beyond the benefits and resources you see here, what really helps our students stand out is the fact that they're getting to know their professors so well and that you're in that small class size. We don't have any graduate programs here at Marymount. We're undergraduate only. So all of our faculty who are required to stay involved in their field are putting all of their connections, their time, and their resources for our undergraduates. So this is an overview of some of the admission plans and policies. We are very flexible, so we have early decision, which is binding, but we also have early action and rolling admission. We are officially test optional for next year as well as of this past week, so you don't have to worry about the SAT or ACTs, but you are welcome to submit it if you prefer to do so. And our application process is standard. We don't have an extra essay. We do take the Common App, so it's a pretty simple and easy process. So we are a private college. However, I don't want you to get scared by these numbers that you see. I, as the Brooklyn counselor, work a lot with students who are commuting. And to be completely transparent, there's not a lot we can do to reduce the cost of housing that you see there, but I see the tuition cost reduced significantly. Whether or not you live on housing is up to you, but we do work with you for scholarships and aid so that we're making sure that we make it affordable for you. So again, I know 37,000 may be looking really high compared to some of the state schools you may be thinking of, but don't let that stop you from applying, because I've seen students get down their cost to much cheaper than you would expect. And that's all I have for you right now. I do not have a minute left, so I just wanted to take the opportunity to also mention that we do have on-campus visits available as well. Right now, they're only for accepted students, but starting in about a month, once the summer, we get a little closer to summer, they will be open to prospective students. So you're welcome to reach out to me. Again, that is my email on the screen, and I am going to go ahead and turn it over to the next presenter. I do see one question, so I'm going to use my last 30 seconds for that. The 37,000 is for each year, but again, that's really not reflective. 100% of our students last year received scholarship and aid. So again, if 37 looks really high to you, don't let that stop you from applying.
Thank you very much, Marymount. Up next, we're going to hear from Pace University.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Juanita Maya. I am one of the undergraduate admission counselors on the New York City campus. I'm also an alumna of the university. I'm also a current student as well. So you have kind of the full package. In the chat with me is my colleague, Bridget, and she will be here to help me answer any questions if you have any. So feel free to pop those in the chat. So I will get started and let you know a little bit about our campuses. So we do have a campus located in downtown Manhattan. We are about a 5-10 minute walk from Wall Street. It's definitely what I like to call prime real estate for our business students, just because we are so close to a lot of really great internship opportunities with Fortune 500 companies. In addition to that, we do have 4 residence halls on the New York City campus, 2 freshman and 2 upperclassmen dorms, all within walking distance. The furthest you ever have to go from campus is 5 blocks, so there will be no need to go into Brooklyn or uptown or downtown. Everything is within walking distance of our main One Pace Plaza building. This particular campus is home to about 3,000 undergraduate students. I'm so sorry, to about 6,000 undergraduate students and about 3,000 graduate students. We have 20 students to 21 students is usually the average class size, which is definitely really great. I know they do cap classes at 35, and it's there and it's put in place for you to have that great one-on-one experience with your professors. Our other campus is located 45 minutes north of the city. It's in a little town called Pleasantville, and this is definitely our more traditional college experience. All of our Division II athletics are located on this campus. This particular campus is great for a student that might want to be close to the city, but not exactly in the city. You have great access to the city with our shuttle, as well as the Metro North, which is the train system here in New York. This particular campus is home to about 3,000 undergraduate students and about 1,000 graduate students. And we do have around the same size class sizes on this campus as well. This particular campus is home to about six different residence halls between our upperclassmen and our freshman dorms. One of the great things about PACE is the PACE Path. And to tell you a little bit about it, it's this 4-year customized plan that you're going to create when you come in as a freshman student. You're going to do so in your University 101 with the class with your professor, whom is also your advisor. And it's essentially your plan to get you from your point A, which is freshman year, to your point B, which is graduation, dream job, med school, law school, wherever you want to go when you're ready to leave us at the end of your 4 years. And so what this 4-year customized plan is going to entail is our academics, whether that's going to be you having a major and a minor, maybe it's double majoring or having 2 minors. Is it going to be having a particular mentor or advisor? Is it going to be making sure that we're doing 1, 2, 4 internships while we're at PACE? Is it going to be maybe studying abroad and having that opportunity? And so you are going to create this plan with you to help you get to where you want to go by the time you leave us. So that first part of the PACE path is those academics. So we do have 6 different schools of study. So we have the College of Health Professions, the Dyson College of Arts and Sciences, our Elizabeth Hobbs School of Law that houses our 3 and 3 program, 3 years of undergrad, 3 years of law school. You're done in 6 instead of 7. Our Lubin School of Business, our School of Education, and our Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems. And through these 6 different schools, we offer over 150 majors, minors, accelerated, and combined degree programs. One of the other fantastic things about PACE is our career services office. So we do have one of the largest internship placement programs in our Metro New York area. I believe at this point we have more internship opportunities than students to fill them, which is not a bad problem to have. On average, PACE students are graduating with at least 4 internships during their time at PACE. We have had students that have graduated with 10 and 15 internships under their belts. So our students are really going out there and getting their hands dirty. And so the way that we are doing that is you can start as early as your second semester freshman year. You have to do a resume writing workshop and an interview skills workshop in order to be allowed onto our system. We do also host career and internship fairs, typically 2 a semester, 1 on each campus. And so students are able to attend those and really kind of get out there and network with different companies to get the internships that they want. On the screen, you'll see 2 of our tour guides. So at the top, she interned at the Stephen Colbert Show, and at the bottom with NBC Universal. So just some really great examples. We do offer financial aid at PACE, so it does definitely cost a lot less than you think. About 95% of our first year students do receive financial aid. It's so important. I can never stress enough to make sure that we're filing that FAFSA because it definitely assists. But aside from the aid that you might get from that FAFSA, PACE does offer its students merit-based scholarships, and those are offered to you at the point of admission. It is based off of your GPA or your GPA and your SAT if you apply test optional. Those scholarships this year range from $10,000 to $31,000 a year, and those are yours for all 4 years as long as you maintain full-time status and whatever GPA is associated to it. As far as the application requirements go, so we do either take the PACE app or the Common App, either one, we have no preference. Your official high school transcript, we are test optional, so you are welcome to submit your SAT or ACT scores. However, we don't require it. 2 letters of recommendation and that personal statement along with your application. On the screen, you will see some important deadlines. So early decision is the binding of the decision. And so for next year, that will be November 1st, and then early action 1 and 2, December 1st and 15th, and then school performing arts, December 15th, and then our regular and nursing decisions, February 15th. And then this is my information. So be sure to take a screenshot, and thank you so much. And if you have any questions, we will be in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pace. Our final presentation today comes from the New York Institute of Technology.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Good afternoon, everyone. This is New York Institute of Technology. My name is Michael Eustache. I am one of the assistant directors here today, along with my colleague, Yulisa Ricardo, who is in the background answering some of your pressing questions. All right, so the New York Institute of Technology consists of 2 different campuses. We have a campus in Manhattan, which is right in the heart of New York on Columbus Circle. And also we have a campus out on Long Island. The biggest difference between both campuses is that the Long Island campus houses our medical school and so houses majority of our medical programs. Between both campuses, we have about 3,700 undergraduate students. So we're considered a small to medium-sized school with about an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, a really intimate class size where you get to know your professor and your professor gets to know you as well. Within that classroom, you'll see a pretty nice dynamic. We represent a lot of different areas with 90 different countries and 40 different states. So you're getting a lot of different worldviews within that classroom, and people are really interactive when they get into certain topics. We're also known as one of the most dynamic and diverse universities, voted number 2 by US News and World Report. Also, we're voted number 7 for one of the highest mobility rates for private schools. So this is our 6 different schools. Within those 6 different schools, we have 90 different programs. Truly tremendous mix of different programs. We are considered a polytechnic school, so we do have majority of those STEM majors, and a lot of them are interactive and hands-on. I won't go over each and every individual program, but I will mention a few of them that we've just released. We have a few new ones on the undergraduate side: applied and computational mathematics, construction engineering, exercise science, and physics. They have grown substantially this year. We have a lot of applications for them, and a lot of students are gaining interest within those areas. We've also just announced our PhD in computer science. We're tremendously happy about that. It's our first PhD in the engineering department, so students can flow all the way through. Aside from the new programs, we do have a few combined degrees. So the dual degrees is where you'll do your undergraduate degree as well as your professional studies degree and shorten that time, and it will save you a good amount of money as well. On the flip side, we also have accelerated masters, where certain departments will allow you to come back, and within a year and maybe a year and some change, you'll be able to finish out your master's degree. Unfortunately, we don't allow students to double major, but we do have a great, tremendous list of minors. So students are able to sometimes double minor depending on the amount of classes that they have to take within their respective major. So for example, an engineering student would tack on a mathematics minor because it's just a few classes, because it's a math-based major, and they could potentially add on another 2 minors because the mathematics minor would come so easy. And of course, we have a ton of different state-of-the-art facilities. One of our most popular is the Hive. It's the home of innovation, visualization, and exploration. We have a ton of different great things going on there. Students within our digital arts and motion capture, digital arts and graphic design majors are utilizing that lab. We also have the 3D motion capture lab. And when we have certain things within our use in our homes, we actually have different departments utilizing it. So the 3D motion capture lab is actually being utilized right now by physical therapy students to do research. Of course, we have a ton of different ways to learn. We have in-person learning, hybrid learning, and fully virtual classes. Student services, we have a ton of different opportunities for students to stay on the up and up and continuously get important information. We have counseling and wellness for students that are having difficulties either in the classroom, at home, or personal issues. You can speak to them confidentially, and they're there for every need that you may have. We have a tremendous financial aid department, bursar, and registrar that are there for all your financial needs, payment plans, so on and so forth. Our career services does a tremendous job of putting students in the right place. They bring out different companies to host forums in our building so that students can put a face to their resume. They also do mock interviews where they record an interview with one counselor and you'll be able to go over it with another counselor just to make sure you're able to market yourself in the best way. And as a result of what career services does, 90% of our graduates are working within their respective fields 6 months after graduation. And because of the hard work that our internships and interns are doing, 77% are getting job offers from the organization that they did their internship. We have a ton of different organizations. Majority of them are cultural. As I mentioned earlier, we represent a lot of different areas. I won't go into the financials too much because we don't have too much time. But application process is quite simple. We do have a few majors that require something additional, but it's a typical application process where you'll submit your transcripts. We have gone test optional, but if you were able to take the exam, please go ahead and submit it. We will make the best decision for you. We require at least 1 letter of recommendation and your college essay. And of course, we have a ton of different opportunities to join us virtually and in person. We have our on-campus tours opened up in person now for both campuses, so please go check that out. And this is our contact information if you need any, if you have any follow-up questions.
Thank you very much, NYIT. And thank you to all of our panelists for your great presentations. We do have time remaining, so attendees, if any of these presentations caused you to think of additional questions, please do feel free to submit them through the Q&A. While we're waiting to see what questions attendees have, perhaps we can do a round of questions ourselves. So if I could ask all of our panelists to turn their videos back on, and I would pose the following question to you. 6 minutes is not very long, so what's one thing you did not have time to include in your presentation that you'd like to cover now? Perhaps that's your favorite event or tradition on campus, a fun fact about your school, etc. So why don't we keep it in that same order, starting with Bard.
Sure. I guess I'll go with the tradition option, one for the fall and one for the spring. Our largest event on campus is the International Student Cultural Show, which fills our Performing Arts Center every year, which is about an 800-person concert hall. So that's definitely our biggest event in the fall. And then our Surrealist Training Circus Club puts on an outdoor performance in the spring. So those are the 2 things that students look forward to in the fall and spring semesters at Bard.
Great, thank you. Rutgers.
I think I just want to share that we have a really big alumni association with alums from all over the country and a lot in our metro area. And they're very excited about giving back and helping students with internships and jobs, like our Road to Wall Street mentoring program for our finance majors. And also to note, we don't have in-person tours now at Rutgers. We have virtual campus tours, and you can go to explorerutgers.com to register. Thank you.
Great, thank you. LIU?
Hello. I would also like to mention that we are actually offering in-person tours and virtual tours as well, and also time with any of our deans and our director of our honors college. So if you would like to book a private appointment or request one, please email me. And any other additional questions you might have about any of our new majors or existing, definitely just email me so I can take my time to connect you.
Great, thank you. Pace? Oh, excuse me, Marymount Manhattan.
Thank you. So I do want to highlight our student life quickly, since I didn't touch on that in the presentation. We of course have very active student life, lots of clubs and organizations like most colleges do. We have recently kind of brought our student development and activities events up to speed with the rest of the world, and we have an app called MMC Engage. So every student life event, club event, appointments with your advisor even are done through an app on your phone. So you don't have to go to bulletin board or write your name down or anything like that. It looks just like an Instagram feed where you can scroll through the events and see what's going on campus. And then lastly, for our types of clubs and student organizations, there's really no limit. There's over 50, which is pretty large for our student body, but we don't have any sororities or fraternities because we want all of our student activities and events to be inclusive. So you never have to compete or apply to be part of a student organization.
Great, thank you. Pace?
Thank you so much. So I'll talk a little bit about one of the traditions that we have at PACE, and that's my favorite. And so it's weeks of welcome. So essentially the first month that our students are on campus are pretty much packed with different activities for all the students to participate in. From they bring in manicurists in for the students to different food trucks on campus to events off campus, whether that's Yankee games in a non-COVID world or trips to the Bronx Zoo or around different neighborhoods. I've heard of cookie crawls, and they had something else aside from a cookie crawl that also said an ice cream crawl was the other one. And so they do different like events like that. Pretty much every night they have something going on for the students, all ending with Fall Fest, which is the biggest event of them all and definitely the favorite on campus. So a bunch of activities. So aside from food and snacks and all of that fun stuff, there's usually like make your own cell phone case, and they have sumo wrestling and like all this other fun stuff. So that's definitely one of my favorite on campus traditions.
Great, thank you. And New York Tech.
Thank you, thank you. I'll actually go fun fact here. Pixar actually started at New York Tech. One of the founding members of Pixar was a member of New York Tech's staff, and they started the creation behind the original Toy Story in our buildings, and those labs still exist. They always make sure to stay invested, come back and visit, make sure our equipment is state of the art, and make sure that our students are doing well and utilizing all the equipment that is there in the building. So that's one of our greatest accomplishments, and we're truly proud to be part of the Pixar family.
Great, thank you. And thank you again to all of our panelists for your great presentations. We are nearing the end of this session, so attendees, if you haven't copied down contact information, links, etc. from the chat, please do so. And also, I know a few of our panelists were working on a question in the Q&A. So I'll do my wrap up, conclude this session, but we'll leave the session open for about another minute and a half for attendees to go and copy down any information. Thank you again to everybody for joining us today. Attendees, certainly would like to thank you. We hope you got a lot out of these sessions and hope that you'll continue these conversations with all these institutions. Before we do wrap up, just a few quick housekeeping items. The first is that when you close this window, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey that we ask that you complete. And again, there are additional sessions today as well as sessions tomorrow and the next day. So if you haven't signed up for those yet, please do so. And a recording for this session will be available on that same registration website, strivescan.com/Brooklyn. So please do visit that site, Brooklyn Tech. Please do visit that site to sign up and then access the recordings. Thank you again to everybody and to all the students out there. Good luck and enjoy your college search. Have a great day.